So what does it mean? It means Will's been training like a pussy all along. He doubled the volume, started training harder than last time, and put on 3.6 pounds. Or it means the DEXA scan's wrong and it just guessed. Take a pick. Coach Greg, in today's video, Will Tennyson answers the question, what happens when you double your training volume? And so Will decided to train like a pro bodybuilder. Despite being natural, he's going through workouts of a professional bodybuilder. And so will double the training equal double the results? Or will he overtrain and lose all his muscle?
I decided to book a DEXA scan on days 1 and 30 of this experiment, instead of relying on my bathroom mirror, where I know all too well objects can appear larger than they actually are.
And so in order to get the most accurate results possible, he resulted to using a DEXA scan, the holy grail of body fat testing. Only it's not the DEXA scan, it's just a guess, but what else could he use?
I'm 199.3 pounds at 13.8% body fat with 163.8 pounds of lean mass and 27.4 pounds of fat.
He's going to do the test again in 30 days, see if his body fat percentage went down or up, and if he gained any lean muscle mass.
Typically I train 4 times per week, 12 to 15 sets per body part. Now we're going up to 6 days a week and doubling the sets. So just like Chick-fil-A, I'm embracing 1 weekly day off.
And so one thing to remember is this: you can either train really hard with less volume or do a lot of volume but train with less intensity. If you try to do a lot of volume with a lot of intensity, it's not going to work. And so if you do in fact want to train with more volume, there's nothing wrong with that, but you have to dial down your intensity. If you don't, you're going to be overtrained, sore. It's going to be a nightmare. You won't recover. You won't make gains.
I'm going to be doing a 3-day split. Day 1 is chest and back, day 2 is shoulders and arms, and day 3 is a leg day.
And so in his first workout, he started with back and chest. He started out great, had a lot of energy, but once it got to doing the chest, he had had enough. He wasn't doing good, had a dramatic decrease in strength and energy. And so if you do set up a workout list, ensure that you begin with your weaker body part. If you're training chest and back on the same day and your chest is your strength, well, start with your back and do your chest after. In doing that, you ensure that you work on your weaker body parts first, which allows you to have more energy and ensure that you're giving it the proper attention. But if you're asking me what I would suggest you do, I would suggest agonist-antagonistic training. What that means is you train one set back, followed by the next set chest. You alternate chest and back and forth. That allows you to get all those workouts in less time and also ensures that you have equal energy for both body parts. Given the fact that he has doubled his training volume, what you need to do is use lighter weights or stop a few reps shy of failure. If you go to the gym and suddenly double your workout volume and expect to be able to lift the same weight for the same amount of reps, it's not going to happen.
Halfway through week number 1 and the DOMs are real. I'm not a dramatic guy. I'm not.
Well, of course he's not. He's on a new training program and he decides to go just as hard as he used to. That is a huge mistake. Remember, progressive overload always takes place. If you're starting a new workout program, new workout routine, begin by going easy. Use lower weights and don't train to failure. And as the weeks go by, if you're not feeling overly sore, of course, you can then add more weight, reps, and train harder than last time.
Don't feel remotely recovered. I feel like I spent the entire week in the red room. But today we got shoulders and arms, the second one of the week.
Now listen, if you are feeling this overtrained, this sore, it's perfectly okay to take a day off. But if you don't, simply go to the gym and do a deload day. You don't need to deload the entire week. You're going to the gym, you're feeling sore, you can still do your workout, just don't train as hard. Lower the weight a little bit, get a few less reps, don't train as close to failure. There's nothing wrong with that. You can make improvements every single day. And sometimes you're going to be sore, sometimes you're going to be fresh, you're going to have good days, bad days. Doesn't mean you need to take time off from the gym. You adjust your training intensity, volume, and so on every single time you go to the gym. The problem is people don't think they can do this. They think they have to push themselves to failure every single time. And so what I preach is to train harder than last time. But if you're feeling sore, overtrained, you can't recover, train easier. And then the next day that you go to the gym, you're no longer sore. Now again, push harder.
For everything else that I do, I'm doing like 3 to 4 sets, a lot of volume. It could be like partial reps, it could be drop sets, double drop sets, keep dropping the weight until I end up on somebody's TikTok.
In reality, you don't need to train like this on every single set. Sure, you can do it from 1 or 2 sets if you've worked up to this, your body's used to it, but don't suddenly go to the gym and double your intensity. If you've been training in the gym like Jeff Nichols nippered, hold it back a little bit. You can't suddenly expect to train and do drop sets on every single set. You have to slowly progressive overload, and over months and or years, you can go from training like Jeff Nippard to someone who's a professional bodybuilder.
Week 1 recap, and the pros are I essentially have an anabolic hall pass. The cons are I'm always sore, I'm always tired, I'm just 24/7 run down.
And so his week 1 update is he's always sore, he's never feeling recovered, and he's changing his personality. He's living in the gym. Now listen, if you double your workout volume, what you can do is rest less between sets. You shouldn't be pushing as hard because you're doing more volume, and so if you're pushing less hard, you don't need as much recovery.
Very frustrating day. Feels like I'm just at the gym just to be here rather than to actually work out, which was my biggest fear of this challenge, but hopefully it's just a today thing.
And the way he's feeling right now, everyone is going to experience this from one time to another. It's perfectly normal. And so what I recommend to my clients, people I'm training, you go to the gym, you try, you do your best. If you're feeling off, just do your warm-up and do a deload day. You don't have to always train harder than last time. You try, but if you show up and you're feeling run down, overtrained, sore, just take it easy. Go through the motions. Enjoy yourself. You can, of course, take a day off, but if you go to the gym and go through the motions, you get a pump, get warmed up, it's going to make you feel better. And don't worry, it's okay. You don't need to try to set PRs every single time you go to the gym.
But here's what I'm taking. So in the morning, I have strong joints, pre-workout, 5 grams creatine. I have some electrolytes to keep me hydrated and some In Focus, just a little tamer of a pre-workout, kind of like having a can of Monster.
And if I could make one recommendation, one supplement that I would strongly suggest he adds to his natural stack, it's GO2 Max. The main ingredient, NMN, has been shown in double-blind placebo-controlled studies using humans. That's right, it's not mice studies, rat studies. That main ingredient, NMN, it's so effective the FDA has banned it in the United States. That's right, can no longer sell it on Amazon. They're trying to classify it as a drug, but it's not banned by WADA, and it's been shown to make significant improvements in your cardiovascular ability. A 50% improvement in the walking test score was noted, and it's not the placebo effect. And so if you add NMN, which is in GO2 Max, expect a dramatic improvement in your cardiovascular performance. And so what does that mean? It means you can do cardio at a faster pace, which allows you to burn more calories, more fat, and recover faster between sets. And so the fact that Will is doubling his workout volume, he's in the gym longer than last time, GO2 Max, this should be your number one supplement if you're in fact trying to burn fat, build stamina, improve your fat burning ability.
So I talked to some of my IFBB Pro friends, and they told me that they have one cheat meal a week.
And so he talked to some IFBB Pro friends. They have one cheat meal a week. Let me stress that this was not me. I am not that IFBB Pro friend. And you know why? Because they're all liars. One cheat meal a week. Kind of like when you ask your girlfriend, who do you have eyes for? Only you. Just you. You're the only one. Meanwhile, they're checking out Chris Bumstead, NFL players, quarterbacks, and they're secretly watching 90 Day Fiancé behind your back, wishing they had 90 days without you. But seriously, do you really think IFBB pros are only eating a cheat meal once a week? It's not true. The majority of them are eating cheat meals every single day. Now, granted, when they're in contest phases, dieting harder than last time for a competition, perhaps only one cheat meal a week. But listen, in reality, you should be able to eat cheat meals every single day. If you hire Coach Greg, if you get my Circle Diet book, you follow my training, every single day you're allowed to eat a cheat meal. But in my opinion, it's not an actual cheat. It's part of your programming. You don't have to eat perfect to lose weight or to build muscle. If 80% of the foods you're eating are considered healthy and 20% are considered not healthy, it's fine. What really matters is calories in, calories out. Are you eating a diet from all 4 food groups? You getting in enough fiber, healthy fats, and protein? You're good. And remember, if you have my freaking cookbook, it takes all your favorite foods, pizza, wraps, lasagnas, ice cream, and so on, and makes those foods lower in calories, higher in protein, and so you get to eat more of it. These are meals for the big eaters. No longer will you be starving, craving foods. You're going to be full, makes it much easier to stick to your diet. Looking for the cookbook, code Greg 10% off. Click the link in description.
Homemade burgers and some sweet potato fries.
And so a homemade burger with sweet potato fries is not a cheat meal. You literally can eat that every single day and lose weight. What you want to do is use extra lean ground beef and ensure you don't deep fry those potatoes, make them lower in fat, higher in protein, and of course you can eat them. And so just exercise balance, but there's absolutely no reason why you can't eat this every single day on a diet. Now, personally, in looking at Will's burger, what I would have done is cut that burger in half, and I would have had 2 of those burgers. Looking at the fries, I would have ate slightly less of them, and I would have had vegetables with that. That would have allowed me to have almost the same amount of calories, but with much more volume. And so small changes can make sometimes a huge difference in your level of satiation.
This is the first time I think ever in my lifting career where I'm cutting my workout early. I physically feel like I cannot do it. I feel so weak. I feel like I'm gonna injure myself.
And so day 20 is there to train legs, but as you can see, he's clearly been overtraining, and so he had to cut his workout short. He literally had 100 pounds less than he's used to on the hack squat. Couldn't do it. But what's important to remember is he went into the gym, he warmed up, and he tried. And so what would I suggest in this case? Take a deload day. Still do the workout, but with much lighter weights, and do not train to failure. Save it for your next workout.
Workout so far is going so good. I needed it because yesterday I felt like I was on the cusp of rhabdo with that leg day. I needed this one today. I needed it.
And so you can see after cutting his workout short, the next day, he's feeling amazing. And so let this be a lesson to you. You cannot always feel perfect in the gym. And even if you're taking GO2 max, you can't feel amazing every single day. Of course, it's going to help, but you're still going to have those off days. The important thing is not to quit, not to give up. You know you should be expecting this. And so do the best you can and move on.
My last rest day of this 30-day challenge, and I'm making the most of it. I'm pampering myself. I'm here with my friend over there. He's a bit leaner than me.
You see that? He's out relaxing with Jeff Cavalier. And of course, you know I'm joking. You all know that Jeff Cavalier doesn't look like a skeleton. He looks like Skeletor, from He-Man. What? And for his next trick, he's going to transform himself into Captain America. What is Will putting himself through? Will looks like Chris Evans transforming into Captain America. Let me know in the comments section. Will Tennyson, is this guy still natural?
It already feels smaller. The Doucette tables. Yeah.
And so seriously, in 30 days, unless you're abusing performance-enhancing drugs, you're not really going to see a difference unless you've been cutting, and then obviously you could see more definition. But it takes approximately 10 times longer to build muscle than it does to lose body fat. And so if your goal is to make a visual difference in the amount of muscle you carry, expect it to take 10 times longer than making a visual difference in how much leaner you look.
We've lost 1.6 pounds of fat and we're up 3.6 pounds of lean mass.
He put on 3.6 pounds of lean tissue, aka muscle. Yeah, I get it can be water, and lost 2 pounds of fat or 1% body fat. And so what does it mean? It means Will's been training like a pussy all along. He doubled the volume, started training harder than last time, and put on 3.6 pounds. Or it means the DEXA scan's wrong and it just guessed. Take a pick. And so the sad reality is he may very well have put on 3.6 pounds of muscle. And considering muscle is 80% water, it very well could be he's just eating more carbs, holding on more water, muscle glycogen. And so if you're extra hydrated, you're holding on to more water from perhaps creatine or even eating more salt in your diet, you very well could put on 3.6 pounds of muscle in a single month. I, for once, remember last year I put on 4 pounds of lean tissue. I called it muscle, considering it wasn't fat, it was lean tissue, called it muscle. And that was in a month by using Turk Builder. I felt more energy, I got stronger, I visually looked better, I never put on an ounce of body fat. But of course, it could be cell volumization. The muscles are holding on to more water intracellular. Same as creatine allows your muscles to soak up more water, fill out, swell out better. But in the end, does it really matter? Will is over 200 pounds. It's the best he's ever looked. And so whether or not you believe in the DEXA scan, who cares? And so my opinion, the experiment worked. Although he felt overtrained, he clearly worked for him. And so I would say for Will, training 6 days a week as opposed to 4, it did make a significant difference in his workouts. And so perhaps he wasn't training hard enough all along. The vast majority of people, 95%, my opinion, they're not training hard enough. Only Will knows, is he really training harder than last time? Is he the hardest worker in the room? Perhaps in the last month, he really dug deep and really pushed himself. Could this be a fluke? Maybe. Of course it could. But my personal opinion is Will should continue to push himself harder. It clearly worked, and so perhaps a compromise. If he can't continue to go this hard, why not, instead of doing double the volume, perhaps he should have done 1.5 times the volume? halfway there. Not a major change, but enough to allow progressive overload to occur. I'm happy to see he was successful. He pushed himself beyond his normal limits, and these were the positive results he experienced. Want to watch more educational and entertaining videos from Will Tennyson? Go watch his original video and please subscribe to his channel. Has a great educational and entertaining channel. Highly recommend it. Subscribe, click the bell button, comment for the algorithm, and give me a like if you like this video. It would mean a lot. Follow me on Instagram, Greg Doucette, IBB Pro. And of course, the cookbooks, training books, coaching plans by me and my team, and the Harder Than Last Time supplements. Please go pick them out, especially GO2 Max. Use code Greg, 10% off. Don't got money? Have a free diet and training program. It's over 50 pages. And so whether or not you have money, it's okay. Head over to my website right now. And until next time, I am out.